Greetings, family. Hope you're doing good. Let's talk. Let's gist. Let's vibe. Today, we're going to be talking about boundaries. What are boundaries? Why is boundary useful in your spiritual journey? Who do you need to have boundaries with? Who don't you need to have boundaries with? We'll break all that down. Let's go. Boundaries, according to the definition, is anything that demarcates, that separates, that shows you the limit of which something can be stressed or strained. Boundary simply is limit. When we talk about boundaries, what we're saying is, what are your limits? I'm not talking about achieving your dreams, boundaries when it comes to achieving your dreams. What I'm talking about is boundaries when it comes to getting rid of toxic behavior. I know a lot of you must have come across people who are narcissists, people who have a problem for every solution you bring, people who you will never meet their cutoff mark. They have a cutoff mark and you will never meet it. So if you continue to try to want to meet it, you're only just making a fool of yourself. Because in the process, you will lose yourself. It is important to have boundaries so you will know when you're being used or when you are just the one using yourself. Ashake has a song like that. He say, before they use me, I go use myself. Oh yes. You know what that's about. Before they use you, use yourself. Boundaries can be very healthy for someone on a spiritual journey, even if you're not on a spiritual journey. It's good to know what boundaries are so you will know how to use them to your advantage. Do you know a lot of people give up on their spiritual journey because they lack boundaries? Oh yes. They might have a calling, for instance. Their ancestors might be communicating with them through dreams and stuff like that. But because they don't have boundary, they go meet the wrong people for answers. And those wrong people give them even more wrong answers. And then when their life falls apart, they ask questions like, what have I done to deserve all this? You didn't have boundary. First of all, before you set up boundary around anything, you must have value for that thing. If not, you will not want to protect it. Because that's what boundaries are for, protection. You set up boundaries to protect your energy or to protect the energy of anyone you care about or anything. You have a compound, right? You're living in a house. In your compound, you have boundaries. There's a fence. So nobody comes into your compound and claims that this is my land. Your fence is already there to show the boundary. If you can have boundary for something so physical, so materialistic, so futile, why don't you have boundary for your heart? Why don't you have boundary for your brain? Why don't you have boundaries for your dreams? Why don't you have boundaries for your thoughts? Why do you think it is okay for somebody to lay hands on you, claiming they are blessing you? You don't have boundary. That's what it is. That's why they feel like they can come and tell you what your father needs, what your mother needs, what your ancestors need, and you are there. Doing what? Why are your ancestors not talking to you? If you had boundaries, if you valued yourself, if you cared for yourself enough, if you loved yourself enough, you would create some sort of demarcation between your thoughts and the thoughts of others, because you understand that not everybody has what you have. Not everybody loves you the way you love yourself. Not all advice is good advice. I hope you know. And we're living in a world today where the advice has become so watered down that it's obvious it's not working and people are still following it. Ask people in religion, they'll tell you. Even the educational system is not what you think it is. Since you feel like you cannot know anything on your own, and don't worry, come now, pay school fees. We will be giving you things to learn. And when you're done learning them, you will see where you will not use them. That's why we have so many graduates out there with no work. The ones entering the university, don't they know that there are no jobs? They don't care. Because why? It's a programming. Anybody who feel like they've not gotten there, they feel like they don't have something. Because why? They don't have boundary to know that because everybody's going somewhere doesn't mean it's working. Which is why you see people, they still keep asking political heads that help us, and the political heads will say, we'll do new road, we'll do this one, we'll do that one. At the end of the day, you see them protesting. Why? Because somebody lied. And the person lied because you allowed the person to lie to you. Why? Because you didn't have your boundaries up. You didn't know any better. You didn't see yourself as the value. You are the prize. Everything that's happening in this whole world is happening because you are here to see it. If you're not here to see it, it won't be happening. I know what you say is, that's not true. Because if one person dies, another person is alive. But what you don't know is that we are all fractions of source. What is source? Source is the ultimate. Source is God, if you want to call it that. So if God is not here through us to experience reality, who will the reality be for? That's how important you are. If you're not here, the sun won't come out in the morning. If you're not here, what's the use of having good roads if people are not here? That's how important you are. But some way, somehow, you've been able to believe that there are only select group of people who should have sense and lead you when you are supposed to be leading yourself. And because you fell for that lie, that there is somebody coming to save you, and all these people are the chosen, appointed ones that God is using to save you, you're not going anywhere with it. If what is in place is working, people will not be suffering. It is not in anybody's destiny to suffer. But because the world has become so corrupted to the point where people just want to be comfortable. Yeah, okay, you're a man of God, you were chosen. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Which day you get service? Okay, we will come. No wahala. You don't have boundary. Somebody come. Oh, vote for me. I will do this for you. You look the person up to down, knowing fully well that this person is not capable. Probably because of one or two assistance or incentive, you fall prey to that, and then the whole thing starts again. Oh, this position is wicked. It's not wicked. You just did not know who you were dealing with before because you didn't have boundaries up. If you don't control yourself, somebody will control you. If you don't seek the truth for yourself, somebody will lie to you. If you do not think that you are enough, somebody will come and tell you you are not enough. But if you want to be enough, come and sweep my compound. Come and sweep my house of God. This is where God talks to me through. If he doesn't talk to me through here, he doesn't talk to me through any other place, only here. God is in all of us. God is not in a book. God is not in a place. He's in all of us. That's what makes you valuable. That's why you need boundaries. So you can focus on the gift that has been given to you and amplify it. Make sure your footprint is felt on the planet before you leave. Nobody stays forever. Because we all came from spirit and we will return to spirit. That's how it works. But while you're here, stand for something. If everybody's gonna die, you know you don't die because you know you are God. You don't die. The physical body, yes, that decomposes, but the spirit doesn't. We've been in existence for eons. You don't even know how old you are. That's how valuable you are. But because you cannot remember, you feel like it's safer to follow blindly. Until we begin to learn for ourselves the truth. Until we begin to sit with ourselves and ask critical questions. Why am I here? What needed to be done that required my presence? And those questions, you only ask them through meditation, because that's when you sit with yourself. People don't even like to spend time with themselves anymore. They always want to go to some party. We're outside. Until we begin to learn how to set boundaries, we've only just begun.